Hi, welcome to Shrink Talks. My name's Elizabeth Daniels. I have a psychotherapy practice in Federal Way, Washington. Our topic today is a self-sacrificing parent. Now, this kind of parent gives all to their children, no matter what the cost. They never take a break. They rarely have any outside relationships and rarely participate in any outside activities unless those activities involve fulfilling the needs of the children. Basically, the parent's needs as a human being and a person are usually delayed, ignored, or forgotten altogether. Now, this can set the parent up to feel overstressed, overworked, irritable, resentful, and even depressed. So what effect can this self-sacrificing behavior have on children? Well, the first thing is that if you're feeling resentful, irritable, overstressed, overworked, the quality of your immediate interaction with the child will be much different than if you're feeling rested, relaxed, and refreshed. So you might find that you're more impatient with the child. You might be tuning them out and not focusing on them, being distracted easily. And this can affect the way the child feels towards you and the way they perceive that you feel towards them. The second effect it could have on children is that they will learn to view relationships in two different ways, or they might focus on just one of the ways or the other. And that is the first way that they might view relationships is that other people are there for my needs, to fulfill my needs, and other people are only as important as their ability to provide for my needs. And they don't have needs, other people. The second way they could view people is that I have no needs, and in order to have a relationship, I have to sacrifice everything for you. And that means that I love you and we're in relationship. Now, you can see how either one of those extreme views, the detrimental effects it could have on a marriage, on friendships, on coworker relationships, even on employer-employee relationships. Because the child doesn't learn that in a relationship, both people, both parties have legitimate needs that need to be met, and that we're responsible for meeting our own needs and even asking for the help of others to help us meet our needs. And there's sort of this give and take and this little harmony thing going on between me and another person. So that isn't modeled so that they don't quite get that perspective on relationships. Now, the third effect it could have is that you're not teaching the child how to set limits, boundaries, and say no, basically. So they could, one of two things could happen here. They could find themselves not being able to say no when asked to do things they don't want to do. So they could find themselves doing activities they don't want to do, hanging out with people they don't want to hang out with, working in jobs they don't want to work in, and this can create a lot of stress for them and unhappiness and discontentment in their lives. The second effect it could have in terms of this setting boundaries and limits is that they may be demanding that other people do things and not listen to other people's no's. So what? You're going to do it because I say to do it, and that's just the way it is. And they won't let other people set boundaries or limits. So these are a few ways that the self-sacrificing behavior effects that it can have on children. Now, if you're listening to this video and you're like, wow, that sounds a lot like me, or I sound a lot like the results of the effects of a self-sacrificing parent. I wonder if my parent was self-sacrificing. If this all sounds familiar to you and you want to make some changes, up next is the exercise challenge for this week. The exercise challenge this week begins with you making a commitment to yourself. I am valuable. I am important. My needs for rest, relaxation, and entertainment are important, and I am committed to following through on actions that will satisfy those needs. So that's the first thing that needs to happen. You need to make that commitment to yourself. Now, it might help to think about how This commitment can benefit your children. Just like I was saying earlier, the effects it can have on children, it could have the opposite effect on children once you start taking action to fulfill your own needs. For example, you will be more refreshed and relaxed. So the quality of the interaction with your children could improve. Number two, you're teaching them a better give and take in relationships. So all people matter in relationships, and all people's needs matter, and there's this give and take that happens. And then number three, you're showing them, modeling for them how to set boundaries, how to set limits, saying yes to me and no to other things, and there's this more give and take modeling that you're doing. So those things can help your children. So thinking about the benefits to your children might help you make that commitment to yourself. Now, once that commitment's made, take a look at your outside friendships and outside activities that have nothing to do with children. Do you have any of those? Probably you don't if you've been only focusing on your children. So the first place to look would be before the children were here, who did I hang out with? What activities did I do, and who did I do them with? Maybe there's a friend there you could start cultivating a relationship with again, or an activity you could start cultivating again. And let's say you say, no, there was nothing before the children. Well, look back in childhood at activities you loved to do. Did you like artwork, fishing, outdoors activities, refinishing furniture, artwork, musical instruments? What hobbies did you like? Did you like arts and crafts? Did you like working on cars? Did you like collecting things? Something that was interesting to you, and see if maybe today that might be of interest to you. You can look online for groups, there's meetups, there's all kinds of things that there's classes you can take to kind of get back into it. Like you could take art classes, you could take a class in economics if that's what you're into, something that's only of interest to you that would really feed you and improve the quality of your life, the feel of your life. And then once you start engaging in those activities, you might meet people and cultivate friendships there. So ideally, you want to take about 15 minutes to a half an hour a day at the minimum to sort of regenerate your energy there and focus in on yourself. And once a week, it could be a weekend night or during the weekend day, maybe 2 to 4 hours. It could be a whole day, perhaps, every once in a while, where you spend doing this activity only for yourself, where you're not thinking about children, you're not talking about children, and you're just generating your own sense of self for your life. So think about this and liberate your mind one thought at a time. See you next time. Bye.